Hey guys, welcome to OleSchool Gamers. This is Wiggy. Today we're going to talk about how you can get N64 games working on your Wii. The N64 is a really hard one to emulate. There's a lot of emulators out there. As you guys know, I just got my N64, but there's a couple games I can't play, so I'm going to emulate them. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get started.
Believe it or not, you're honestly going to get the best emulation from the eShop off of the Wii's Virtual Console. But since that's no longer available, Not64 is the one that we recommend. Alright, first thing you want to do, guys, let's go to github.com. I'll put the exact link in the description. But you want to go here so you can get the Not64 Emulator. So on the very top, click on it, let's download it. Okay, I got my folder downloaded. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my SD card. And what you want to do is extract this. You go ahead and extract it to the location where you're at. You got to make sure you have WinZip or WinRAR or some other compressed program. Once that's completed, you'll have another folder. Go ahead and open that up, and all you need is the first two. So under the folder you'll have apps and Not64. Copy that to the root of your SD card or your USB drive, external drive, whichever one you're using. So it's pretty simple. Once that's completed, you'll have a Not64 folder. Underneath it, you'll have two folders. One for ROMs, that you'll put all your ROMs in there, and one that'll have all your saves. Your ROMs can be in just about any format, from zip to Z64, etc. I'll put a link in the description on how to get WiiFlow set up on your Wii. What you want to do now is get two windows open with your SD cards so that you can navigate both the WiiFlow and the Not64 folders at the same time. So on the left side, let's go ahead and go into the WiiFlow. We want to set up the source and make sure that it's pointed to Not64. So under source menu, you'll have a main file, source menu.configs. I recommend you do a backup of this file. You can go ahead and right click it, copy it, paste it. That'll be sufficient enough, but you can rename it too if you like. And go ahead and say source menu before I screw it up. Alright, go ahead and open it up in your favorite editor, Notepad++, TextPad, or whatever. And what you want to do is find the button, the one that's specific to Not64. In my case, I think it's button 19. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Button 19, Not64. So this is the one that we're going to use. What you want to pay attention to specifically is the magic. That is the one that's going to point to the plugin file, and you want to make sure that they match. So let's go ahead and copy it, and we'll go verify that. So let's go up. We're in WiiFlow source menu. So let's go up to the WiiFlow plugins. I'm going to copy this magic real quick, and I want to verify. That's all I'm doing. A lot of troubleshooting can be saved if you just do this quick step. Let's go into WiiFlow plugins. Let's do a search for Not64, because that's a display name it's going to be looking for. Same thing, open it up, and there's the magic, and you can paste next to it or paste over it, either way. So I did a paste, nothing changed, so this is the right file. Again, completely unnecessary, but something that I love to do to make sure that everything is pointed to the right directory. So, first thing you want to look at is there's a lot of information and configuration for each of these. So there's a cover folder. We're going to do that first. That's for the box arts. That's actually under WiiFlow box covers. So you look in here, find if there's a folder for Wii64. In this case, we're going to be doing it for Not64. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it Not64. Okay. And we'll do the same for the configuration file so that everything is matching. Not64. Okay. There we go. Alright. So now we have a Not64 folder. Now what we want to do is make sure that we can find ROMs. So Not64 ROMs. Make sure that that's accurate. And we'll save it. And let's go verify. And the SD card, Not64 ROMs. Okay, so we're good. Alright. Now all you got to do is put the ROMs in there so it knows where to find them. So let's go do that. Okay, so here's all the ROMs that I own. So I'm going to copy these over to the Not64 ROMs folder on my SD card. You can do it on your USB drive. These can be in the zip format, N64, Z64, there's several formats. We'll go ahead and copy them over. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, pretty easy. So, Not64 ROMs is where our ROM dir is. Check, check, all good. Let's keep moving. So these are the formats I told you about, N64, V64.zip. These are in .zip. I recommend .zip because you save a lot of space, but to each his own. Whatever format you have them, use them. Alright, let's do the first of two tricky things. Cover folders. Okay, so Not64 is where it's at. Let me get that window open. Okay, go ahead and navigate. Go back up to WiiFlow, box covers, and resort here. Not64. And I'm going to go ahead and get my ROMs up so I can see what the naming convention's got to be, because the box covers have to match. So I'll just put this over here right next to it. Then we're going to go to Google, and I'm going to show you where you can get your box covers. So we're in Google. Go ahead and type in N64 cover collection. And scroll on down, and we're going to go to, where is it? There it is. GBA 10 cover collections. Alright, they have pretty much every, system you could think of in all the box covers for them. So what you want to do is just keep scrolling, Sega CD, Super Nintendo, keep going till you get to N64. N64 is a 5th generation system. So there's a lot to choose from. I'd recommend the N64 Shrunken Spine, the one that says recommended for WiiFlow. Go ahead and click on that and download those. Okay, it's downloaded. We're going to go ahead and extract them. Give that a second. Go into the folder and you'll see every cover folder for just about every N64 game. Alright, so one of the things I like to do is bring up the box cover folder, the ROM folder, and that way I can see exactly what I need. If you need them all, you can copy them all. Just realize that each one of these uses up several megs of space and can quickly add up, so you kind of got to watch it. But I'm just going to copy over these for now, and then I'm going to show you what we got to do to rename them. Alright, got them all copied over. So go ahead and move the folder over so you can see both of them. So on the left side you got the cover folders, on the right side you got the ROMs. As you notice, they don't match. The names are different. So you can rename them, which is what I like to do. So you rename one, copy it, rename the other, and paste. And that's pretty much it. You got to do that for all of them though. Like I said, there's a couple cool programs out there. I'll put a link in the description to those that work. Otherwise, if you only have one or two, it's not too hard. All you gotta do is just copy paste the names to the ones that you're trying to match up with. Also be very wary of how you name these. .zip is all you need if Windows is already calling it a PNG file over there on the right. Okay? Just be very careful. Sometimes Windows will be tricky and not show you the true extension, which should be .zip.png. Last but not least, we need the emulator, Not64.doll. So first, we need to go get it. You downloaded it in the apps Not64 folder. It's the boot.doll. That's your emulator. Go ahead and copy that, and we're going to put it in the WiiFlow plugins folder. Let's go back to WiiFlow plugins, and we'll paste it in here. Now that it's pasted, just rename it to Not64. And that's it. Ready to go. Let's try it. So now that you put your SD card back into your Wii, launch WiiFlow. we're going to navigate to the N64. There should be button number 19, which will be on the second page. There's Not64. Go ahead and click on it, and you'll be presented with a select your partition for your first question. So for myself, I have it on my SD card, so I'm going to make sure that it's selected SD. The rest of these settings you can tailor to what you like. What you definitely want to do is verify that the plugin is selected to Not64. That way that plugin file that we edited earlier that had the display name Not64 will be the one that runs when you click this forward or channel. The rest of these are pretty safe to leave as default, but you can customize them to whatever you like. When you're done, hit the back button. Oh yeah! Look at the box art. Each of the games comes in nice and crisp and clear. Just a side note, Conker's Bad Fur Day was one that didn't quite work well, but there is a trick to get it to working a little bit better on Not64. If the box art doesn't show up, simply hit your home button, go up to reload cache, and that should fix it. Otherwise, let's pick a game. Smash Bros. GoldenEye. We gotta do Mario 64. Gotta do it, guys. Gotta do it. Alright, when you launch your ROM, it'll load it first into memory. Go ahead and say OK to this. And there's some few settings that you may need to know. So underneath the General and Video tab, I like to go in Screen Mode 4.3. Let's show the FPS. Under Input, you can configure it. You can change your buttons. Under Audio, there's a couple options there. But under General, I wanted to show you something. CPU clock divider, 1, 2, and 3. It's currently on 2. If you have issues running certain games, try 1 or 3. It does make you reset, but sometimes it makes games work a lot better. Like Conker's Fur Day runs really good on 1. Let's play the game. As you can see, it plays just fine. It's currently running at about 25 frames per second, which is absolutely playable.
Alright guys, not too hard, not too easy, but we got through it. If you guys have any questions or comments on how to do this, please comment below. If you have a better emulator to emulate the N64, let us know, okay? We always want to make sure that we're giving you guys some good information. So hit us up, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.